Imagine sitting on a park bench. You are one of the most recognizable faces on the planet. You have hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank. You are at the peak of your career. And yet, you are eating a sandwich alone, with a look of such profound sorrow on your face that a passing photographer snaps a picture, and the entire world stops to ask, why is he so sad? We have all seen the memes. We have all seen the movies. We know him as Neo, as John Wick, as the action star who defies gravity. But very few of us know the man sitting on that bench. Very few of us understand the sheer weight of the tragedies he carries in his heart. Most people, if they lived through a fraction of what this man has endured, would have been destroyed. They would have turned to anger, to addiction, or to total despair. But Keanu Reeves did not break. Instead, he did something extraordinary. He took the cruelest cards life could deal and he turned them into gold. Not the gold of money, though he has plenty of that, but the gold of the soul. He discovered the secret to a life that flows, a life of simplicity, kindness, and peace, right in the middle of a storm. Today, we are going to walk through the fire with him. We are going to deconstruct his pain to understand his peace. Because if Keanu Reeves can find the secret to an easy life after losing everything, then so can you. This is his story. To understand the man, we must first look at the boy. We often assume that celebrities are born into privilege, or at least stability. Keanu's beginning was anything but stable. Born in Beirut, Lebanon, his name literally means cool breeze over the mountains. It sounds poetic, almost prophetic, but the breeze quickly turned into a hurricane. His father was a geologist, but he was also a man struggling with his own demons, eventually landing in prison for dealing heroin. When Keanu was just 3 years old, his father walked out the door and never came back. Abandonment is a wound that never truly heals. It sits in the subconscious of a child, whispering that they are not enough to make people stay. His mother, searching for a life and perhaps searching for herself, moved the family constantly, from Lebanon to Australia, then to New York, and finally to Toronto. By the time Keanu was a teenager, he had lived with a revolving door of stepfathers. He attended 4 different high schools in just 5 years. Imagine the confusion. Just as you make a friend, you leave. Just as you understand the rules, the game changes. For a young boy, this instability creates a choice. You either become anxious and clingy, desperate for control, or you learn to let go. You learn to become like water. This was Keanu's first lesson in Stoicism, long before he knew what the word meant. He learned that the external world is unreliable. Houses change, fathers leave, schools expel you. The only home you truly have is inside your own head. He struggled with dyslexia, making traditional schooling a nightmare. He felt stupid. He felt out of place. The only time he felt truly alive was on the ice, playing hockey as a goalie. They nicknamed him the Wall. It's fitting, isn't it? The goalie stands alone. He is the last line of defense. He faces the flying pucks, the hardships, and he blocks them. He dreamed of playing for the Canadian Olympic team. It was his escape plan. But life, as it often does, had a different plan. A severe injury ended his sports career before it truly began. The door slammed shut. At age 20, he drove to Hollywood in a rusted-out car with no connections, no money, and a history of being left behind. He was just another dreamer in a city of broken dreams, but he had something others didn't. He had a tolerance for solitude. In Hollywood, loneliness is a disease. Everyone wants something from you. But in 1989, on the set of the movie I Love You to Death, Keanu met a young actor named River Phoenix. River was everything Keanu wasn't: fiery, outspoken, the golden boy of his generation. But they shared a frequency. They were 2 lost souls who found an anchor in each other. River became Keanu's best friend, his brother in spirit. In a world of fake smiles, River was real. When Keanu read the script for a risky, independent movie called My Own Private Idaho, he knew he couldn't do it alone. He rode his motorcycle more than 1,000 miles just to hand-deliver the script to River and convince him to take the role. That is the kind of loyalty Keanu possesses. They made the movie. They made history. They were supposed to grow old together, the two kings of the new Hollywood. But on Halloween night, 1993, the phone rang. River Phoenix had collapsed outside the Viper Room Club in Los Angeles. A drug overdose. He was 23 years old. Gone. Just like that. Keanu was 29. The person who understood him best in the world was extinguished. Grief is not a linear process. It is a shattering. When you lose your witness, the person who sees you for who you really are, you feel like you are disappearing. Keanu had to promote the movie Speed while his heart was breaking. He smiled for the cameras. He answered the banal questions, but inside, a silence was growing. This was the moment where many turned to the same substances that killed their friend, to numb the pain. Keanu chose to feel it. He chose to carry it. He said in an interview years later, "I miss his being. I miss his eyes." Simple words, but heavy with a lifetime of longing. As the late 90s approached, Keanu's career skyrocketed. He became Neo in The Matrix. He was the chosen one. The metaphor is cruel. In the movie, he is the savior of humanity, powerful, stopping bullets in midair. In real life, he was about to learn that he could stop nothing. In 1998, Keanu met Jennifer Syme. She was it, the love of his life. For the first time since his father left, since River died, Keanu began to build a future. They were expecting a baby girl. They had named her Ava. The nursery was ready. The excitement was building. Finally, the easy life seemed within reach. On Christmas Eve, 1999, 8 months into the pregnancy, the unthinkable happened. Ava was born stillborn. The silence in that delivery room is something no parent should ever hear. To hold your child, perfect but lifeless, is a trauma that rewrites your DNA. Grief can bond a couple or it can tear them apart. The weight of the loss was too heavy for their relationship to sustain. Keanu and Jennifer broke up shortly after, suffocated by their shared sorrow, though they remained close friends. They were two wounded people trying to survive. But the universe wasn't finished. 18 months later, Jennifer was driving alone in Los Angeles. She lost control of her car. She died instantly. Pause for a moment. Just pause and breathe. Imagine being Keanu Reeves. You have buried your best friend. You have buried your daughter. And now, you have buried the woman who carried that daughter. You are standing at a gravesite again. You are wearing the black suit again. You are the most famous man in the world appearing on magazine covers, while inside, you are walking through a graveyard. This is the breaking point. This is where the script usually ends in tragedy. This is where a person becomes cynical, hateful, or self-destructive. How can you believe in a benevolent universe when it keeps taking everything you love? This is where the transformation happened. This is where Keanu Reeves ceased to be just a celebrity and became a philosopher of life. He didn't write books about it. He lived it. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, taught a concept called amor fati, the love of fate. It means accepting whatever happens, not just bearing it, but embracing it as the fuel for your journey. Keanu realized that fighting reality, screaming "why me?" only creates more suffering. He looked at his grief and decided not to run from it. He said, "Grief changes shape, but it never ends. People have a misconception that you can deal with it and say it's gone, and I'm better. They're wrong. When the people you love are gone, you're alone." But instead of letting that aloneness turn into bitterness, he let it turn into empathy. He realized that life is short, tragically, brutally short. Memento mori, remember you must die. Because he knew how fragile life was, he stopped caring about the things that distract the rest of us. Money? He didn't care. When he negotiated his back-end deal for the Matrix sequels, He gave away an estimated $75 million to the special effects team and costume designers. He said, "Money is the last thing I think about. I could live on what I have made for the next few centuries." He bought Harley-Davidson motorcycles for the entire stunt team. Why? Because he knew that shared joy is the only real currency. Status? He didn't care. While other stars have chauffeurs and private security, Keanu was filmed riding the New York subway alone. In a viral video, he is seen sitting quietly, and when a woman with heavy bags gets on, he immediately stands up to offer her his seat. No cameras were rolling officially. He didn't do it for PR. He did it because he understands pain, and if he can make someone's physical burden slightly lighter for 10 minutes, he will do it. Just as he was finding his footing, another blow came. His younger sister Kim, the person he had traveled the world with as a child, was diagnosed with leukemia. This was his last immediate family connection. Keanu stopped everything. The Matrix sequels were delayed. Hollywood could wait. He sold his house to move closer to her. He cooked her meals. He cleaned her house. He held her hand through the chemotherapy. He wasn't Neo. He was just a brother. He donated millions to cancer hospitals and research, secretly. He didn't attach his name to the foundation. He didn't want the credit. He just wanted the cure. When asked about his life during this time, he didn't complain. He simply served. Kim survived. And in that battle, Keanu solidified his understanding of the easy life. An easy life isn't about luxury yachts or champagne. An easy life is the clarity of knowing what matters. It is the ability to strip away the noise. When you have faced death so many times, traffic jams don't anger you. Rude people don't offend you. You see the world with a compassionate detachment. So what is the lesson we can learn from the tragic and beautiful life of Keanu Reeves? How does this apply to you, watching this right now, perhaps struggling with your own bills, your own heartbreak, or your own uncertainty? The lesson is this: you cannot control what the world does to you. You cannot control who leaves, who dies, or what you lose. If you try to control it, you will live a hard life full of resistance and agony. Keanu teaches us that the secret to an easy life is softness. It is the refusal to let the world harden your heart. Most people, when hurt, build walls. They become cynical. They say, "I will never love again," or "people are terrible." Keanu kept his heart open. He stays vulnerable. He rides his motorcycle, feeling the wind, exposing himself to the world. There is a clip of him on a talk show with Stephen Colbert. Colbert asks him a profound question. "What do you think happens when we die, Keanu?" Keanu pauses. He takes a deep breath. He doesn't give a religious answer or a scientific one. He gives a relational one. He says, "I know that the ones who love us will miss us." That is it. That is the summary of his philosophy: connection, love, simplicity. If you want an easy life, stop chasing status. Stop holding grudges. Stop trying to numb your pain. Be like Keanu. Sit on the bench. Eat the sandwich. Feel the sadness if it's there, but also feel the sun on your face. Be generous with what you have, whether it's money or just your seat on the train. Keanu Reeves is not a hero because he saves the world in movies. He is a hero because he saved himself from the darkness, using the light of kindness. And if he can do it, after all he has lost, then you have the strength to do it too. Your life doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. It just has to be yours, and that is the secret. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs hope today. And remember to subscribe for more stories about the secrets to a better, easier life.